उसके पहले तो पैराडाइज है।
पैराडाइज यार
I
नहीं
think
बट वो
सौरभ
छोटी है वो तो।
सौरभ हंडा
छोटी नहीं है,
नहीं,
2
दो
घंटे
घंटे
डेढ़
की।
घंटे
मलयालम
की
सब
है।
लंबी होती है भाई।
मलयालम
सौरभ
थोड़ी ना है।
मलयालम
मलयालम है.
ये तो श्रीलंकन है।
नहीं नहीं
It's a mixture of whatever
Really?
Sinhalese.
Yeah,
It's a
because
Sri Lankan film.
रोशन मैथ्यू है ना उसमें?
Yeah. The director is Sri Lankan.
श्रीलंकन।
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
और वो है ना कौन है?
रोशन मैथ्यू।
नहीं वो
The actress.
हाँ वो भी तो
Darshana Rajendran.
हाँ हाँ जो
ये
उसमें आई
नाम
थी
सुना
See
है।
You Soon में।
Yes.
Right.
She was also in Hridayam too.
And Thurukam
हृदय नहीं देखा
Thurukam.
बट पता है। I think my friend from Kerala, she knows her. I think.
अरे she
She
is
knows her.
popular यार.
Yeah.
उसने वो भी किया है.
हाँ वो
काफी
पुरुषा
सारा
प्रथम she's in that also.
Ah, you watched that
I
movie?
watched it first. अरे
अच्छा.
आपको देखनी चाहिए actually इतनी it's the most unique looking movie. By that I also mean good and bad like both.
Which?
Why?
Because उसमें जो shot taking और shot cutting है वो बिल्कुल conventional नहीं है. मैं इसी पे छोड़ दूंगा because I leave it for you to discover.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, I was like, if this is not deliberate, then this is quite unprofessional. But then I read
I'm
something and
pretty
it
sure it
no,
would
no,
be
it was-
deliberate
it
because
was-
last film भी उसका had like a lot of deliberate choices which we all like.
नहीं,
अवश्य भी हम.
अवश्य भी हम,
हाँ.
yeah.
So interesting only.
हम्म.
तो we jump right into it. हाँ?
अब क्या वो तो पहले चालू हो गया अपना ये सब बकवास बोलो ना.
हाँ ठीक है.
जादू मंत्र जादू मंत्र जादू मंत्र You are going into the future.
You talking to me?
Ain't always BBC clothing. என் பேர் மாணிக்கம் எனக்கு இன்னொரு பேர் இருக்கு.
Talking to me?
Queen is dead.
Okay. Only Kennedy, right? Inform me.
Yeah,
We
that's
can
it.
talk little bit about whatever else we've watched.
Yeah.
क्या
Okay.
देखा? Anatomy देखी.
Hello, hello, hello.
बात कर ली
Yeah,
उससे
yeah,
पहले?
no, we're not.
No.
कर दें?
Let's do it
नहीं
later.
नहीं 2 सेकंड में निपटा दो ना.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Queen is Dead. I'm Sanjeet. I have Dhruv and Aryan with me. We are at MAMI. I hope this comes out after the first episode which we recorded. If it doesn't, this is the first episode which will give you a bit of an update that we are at MAMI in Mumbai, which is the Mumbai Film Festival. And this is the third day. Yeah, third day, and
Yeah.
we just watched.
For us, it's I don't know 1.5 days into the festival.
That only, yeah.
I mean, because we spent a lot of time sleeping. That's a different
Yeah.
thing. But we watched a couple of films, not a lot as of yet,
Yeah.
as much as we wished we would.
We will now from now on.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean,
It's a
that
long
day also we
festival.
said.
It's a long festival, but yeah.
Okay.
Picture अच्छी होंगी तो मजा आएगा ना ज़्यादा.
Yeah, but okay.
This is already being set up as yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So we watched Kennedy, Anurag Kashyap's new film,
which we'll discuss most extensively.
which will be discussed most extensively in this episode, while we also speak a little bit about the other films in brief.
I will ask you guys first then, just to start it up very
Yeah,
quickly.
Huh.
What did you guys think of the movie that is available online and when you had to go there and actually sit there and see that movie and the movie started?
You mean in a live auditorium?
In a
with
live
people,
auditorium
with
with
2,000
people, well,
on the
2,000,
big screen, the way
2,000.
movies are supposed to be
Yes.
watched.
In a
Especially Palm d'Or with
yes,
us.
yes, in a film, not in a film theater,
Yeah.
in a stage theater.
It's just been into a film theater.
Yeah,
But it's
good
not bad,
production
no?
and
No, yeah.
even the surround sound was pretty fantastic, especially in Kennedy.
I think there is a little bit of an echo.
Yeah, that.
If we speak technically,
Yeah.
but I feel it's not that bad a deal.
Yeah,
No?
No, it's fine.
it's workable. And
Anyways, what did you guys think of Anatomy of a Fall? Palm d'Or winner, probably going to be nominated for a couple of Oscars. I think
Yeah.
maybe Sandra Huller for Best Actress.
Yeah,
I think
that
she'll get for one of them.
yeah.
Either this
Because
or
she
Zone
has
of Interest.
that scene also na, in the movie, so definitely.
The Beatty scene, right? Oscar
Yeah,
Beatty
the
scene.
Oscar Beatty scene,
Yeah.
where they're all loud.
Yes, we are very cynical.
What do you think?
I think.
About Anatomy of a Fall, I don't know. I mean, being a Palm d'Or winner, right? Or did it win the Golden?
No, Palm d'Or.
Palm d'Or.
So like I was expecting
Just to
it
mention,
be,
last time Triangle of Sadness जीती थी.
हाँ मतलब
But
वही
best
time से
director
मेरे
was Park
expectations-
Chan-wook, by the way. Huh?
Yeah.
तो एक अच्छी काम, एक अच्छा, एक बुरा, एक अच्छा.
हाँ, so it's balance in life.
तो इस बार भी अच्छा, वो तो देखी नहीं हम लोगों ने बेस्ट डायरेक्टर वाली.
What
Not
who
yet,
directed?
yeah.
Taste of Things. Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Is
We'll
it?
watch.
It's there on one of the days. Let's go.
We will
Abhi
find.
it's,
Sir.
I think it's already played twice or thrice.
No, it is one more day, but like we'll have to.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
quickly. tell me.
Anatomy of Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall. Rapid. Okay, so I wasn't expecting it to be this consistently engaging, I guess, because considering the kind of reception it had gotten, I was expecting it to be more art housey. So I got a proper like mug of coffee and all along with me, and I was surprisingly invested throughout the movie. And at times it did feel that it was going for those heightened melodramatic scenes uh a bit too harshly, and something that came at the cost of some very obvious narrative contrivances.
Yeah.
We talked about it right now while we were driving back to the hotel, right?
Yeah. No,
That-
we'll just do like not spoiler.
yeah, no
Still.
spoilers.
People, it's available online anyways. Please watch.
But yeah, it's I was thoroughly engaged, and I especially love the last shot of the movie, which also makes all those in the nose metaphors laced throughout the movie work better for me because of that ending frame. It's very bittersweet, but also very welcoming, I guess. So yeah, I enjoyed that movie a lot.
Absolutely.
What about you?
I think it was an okay film.
Yeah.
Not great, not bad. Pretty decent, I would
Yeah.
say.
Hmm.
It's a courtroom drama.
Mhm.
I mean, section of it is.
Yeah, half
Yeah.
of it is a courtroom.
So I feel, as like a quality of the courtroom drama itself, it is supposed to engage you. If it doesn't engage you,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're a bad, not good at this kind of filmmaking for
Mhm.
sure. I think what I really lacked was a central character to hold on to. But the thing in the film was it kept changing perspectives from the film to different
Different.
ideas and all that. So I think maybe I didn't really connect with it as much as I thought I would, or I should have. But
Varun will concur with you, sir, very much.
yeah, but I think
You loved
without
it?
that emotional
He hated
character,
it.
Hated it?
No, hated it, but he
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Okay.
Varun.
I just thought if there was some emotional connection with that character. I mean, there was a bit,
Yeah.
but
You didn't feel
I
that
still
much.
felt a little distant
वो
from.
थोड़े- I felt it was very icy. Or
Yeah.
well, it was
I mean,
literally,
Yeah.
but also yes, figuratively too. But yes.
I mean, I hated also the writer character, her husband.
Oh, he was a douchebag. We'll
Yeah,
discuss this.
So I think that's good
He's
acting.
no, but he's too much of a douchebag, I think. And she's too much. It's like it's a gray shades, and she's too. Because we'll discuss some other thing maybe, where it's like she's too white gray, and he's
Too
too
black gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you want to completely do the very morally, which is, for example, a separation, Bhaskar Farhadi. If you want to do something like that, then you need to have like.
But it isn't that. No?
It's not. It's a
think-
character
So
centric.
as I think we discussed this. I think this is more story centric.
Mhm.
They had a certain story in mind. The
Yeah.
makers.
Yeah.
And
Justin Triet, I think is the
Is it
character. Triet.
she or a
Just
She.
So I think she had a story in mind and she wanted to function
Mhm.
with the story only.
Yeah.
So I think characters became a little secondary to the story.
Yeah, I
that
felt
point.
so. I mean, but I think Sandra Huller kind of just ground.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean,
Definitely.
performances are supposed to hold the film together
Yeah.
in general. I mean,
Especially in a courtroom.
Anyways, doesn't matter,
But
guys.
no,
'Cause you.
but even I think the reason that the fact that you said the characters in this feel either black gray or white gray or whatever.
Mhm.
I think that's primarily because of how the movie uses this plot contrivances to push the narrative forward.
वो plot
And to
contrivance
create-
नहीं है, वो story होती है यार. Story में
हाँ.
जैसे तो तू कोई story पढ़ता है, short
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
तो उसमें एक element has to happen for something to happen, right?
But that's why it's contrived, because it doesn't feel organic. It seems reverse engineered. That's what I feel.
For reverse engineering नहीं होती. I think it's a certain idea. I feel if you have written a certain story, you will want to follow that story until you reach. But I mean, if you self-doubt yourself into thinking, okay, this might not be
Yeah.
working, then it's kind of like you are not trusting yourself with the conviction that you're going to make the film. And I think
some of
that-
that shows in this
So
movie.
that is something that will
Yeah.
backfire. So I feel contrivances are a part of the story only. So I think
Yeah.
the story, if the story wasn't this way, then
Hmm.
of course we would have, because story is too specific to things.
Okay.
It needed
Okay.
certain things to happen, basically.
Yeah.
So I think we focus on maybe then the
Hmm.
screenplay needed a little more heft. to
Hmm.
make those things
Seem organic.
organic, moving from point A to point B or
Hmm.
whatever. Yeah,
Yes.
But yeah.
Anyways, doesn't matter because you missed the best part of the film.
I
Anyway.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
These guys arrived 10 minutes late.
Seven.
Not the cinephiles I thought
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were.
yeah. We lost
Yes.
also.
I
Yeah.
blame the rickshaw driver who wanted to fill
Yes,
gas
so
I'll
I-
blame the
in a
city.
queue, long queue.
Yes, blame the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can
Blame
do
the
that.
city.
Or the
Yeah.
organizers.
Organizers.
Yes.
Speaking of the city,
Speaking of the city.
Kennedy.
Oh, I thought I was about to say stuff about Green Border and
no,
that
go on,
quickly.
go on.
Go for it.
I'll nip it off very quickly. Green Border, very hate saying this.
Yeah.
Standard refugee drama or
Hmm.
refugee crisis drama set in Polish
Hmm.
Belarus border,
Okay.
which has not strangely, but I suppose that's kind of actually that brings me to the point of this sort of film.
Hmm.
This has Kylian Mbappe and
Hmm.
Robert Lewandowski mentioned multiple times.
For what
Because
context?
Poland is Robert Lewandowski
Uh-huh.
and Kylian Mbappe
France.
is France, I think, but he's such a big footballer like that way.
So
Like,
it's a cultural
like it's
overlap.
just like
You were put in a pedestal
Yeah.
much.
no, I think it's just more
Oh,
like
yeah.
boxing your characters according to what people it's
Again,
stereotyping
characteristics.
a little bit. But
characteristics.
it
na?
also, but we discussed this, I think, was that
Yeah.
that's also the way to push a film like this to the mainstream.
Definitely.
And there are definitely,
Hmm.
I've realized how less I'm into this sort of
Hmm.
broader approach to
Hmm.
this sort of migrant crisis. I
Yeah.
would rather follow one character.
Hmm.
Of,
Have there been films?
I'm-
I was thinking one of them, which is a lesser known film, and it's not on the European refugee
Hmm.
crisis, but it's on the Mexican-US border.
Okay.
That's called Identifying Features.
Okay.
Identifying features.
and it's-
2016, right?
I think I forgot the date, but it's
Recently only. 2-3 years back,
recently,
yeah.
and it's mostly about like following one character, and then what happens. Like you've seen on Sondies, right? By
Yeah.
Denny
Hmm.
Villeneuve.
Hmm.
There's a slightly mythic thing
Hmm.
overlapping with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And that sort of really works in terms of, how specifically it conveys the emotion of feeling
Okay. Okay.
The
adrift.
story of that woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
even recently I saw films by this guy, Pablo Larraín,
Pablo
which is
Larraín.
not about
El Conde.
El Conde.
El Conde I didn't
Before
like.
that, yeah.
But no, like something like Tony Manero, which is basically a
Hmm.
character study set in Pinochet's era,
Hmm.
Chile under dictatorship, but
Yeah.
it follows him
Hmm.
and like through him tells the story of whatever is happening, sort of like
Hmm.
that.
I think even one of the Kieslowski films.
Yes, I was thinking of
Third-
that also.
Third-
It's the
third
eighth
something.
one, which is about the Holocaust.
That one?
Yeah,
Decalogue 8?
yeah, Decalogue 8.
I think even one of his features, I think it was the.
Must be. I've not seen the
I
the
can't
earlier
remember the
ones.
name of that movie. I don't know.
I've not seen the earlier ones.
Even
so I-
Blind Chance to a certain extent,
seen
man.
that, not seen.
It has a lot of those
Yeah.
geopolitical
Hmm.
overarching themes in it.
No, but I think the whole specific. Whoa, this is the thing I said it on Yadu's
Yeah.
Immersive Cinemas podcast also, where I was like,
Hmm.
Showa, the documentary by Cloud
Oh, yeah.
Landsman,
Yeah.
has a professor telling us that
Hmm.
what he thinks the way for him to reach some sort of truth or some sort of insight
Yeah.
is by looking at one thing and then going out rather than going
In
Yeah.
which means you have to like
Bird's
pass
eye view.
over through a lot
a
of
lot
stuff.
of things. Yeah.
Whereas if you start from one point, you
Mhm.
sort of
Expand.
expand
It's
it
more
like this.
discovery than that.
It's
yeah.
more discovery. Yeah. So I think that's a philosophy which when he said it, I was like, oh, that really does.
And you
click.
also take in the nuance from
Of
each
course, yeah.
level, right?
You become so that is what Green Border is not,
Okay.
which I think is my problem with it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it will probably be a bigger sort of mainstream sell.
Yeah.
And it has great cinematography. Black and
Mm.
white cinematography has the other film I saw. I don't know what it added, but in this,
Hmm.
it felt like basically. I think it's not a spoiler as such, but the opening image of the film is a green landscape
Hmm.
of trees and all,
Hmm.
and then the color basically drains up,
Yeah.
and then it's the whole thing sort of follows from that template of,
Hmm.
and it looks like an absolutely like destructed waste ground. And I think
Hmm.
there's one of the films which it sometimes very briefly evoked was Children of Alfonso Cuarón's Children of Men,
Hmm.
which I think is everyone should see essentially. So yeah, I mean, I didn't like it that much, but I mean, I think people will
Hmm.
appreciate it for what it's at least trying to say about how complicit each border is, and basically making
Mm.
the refugees' life a living hell, sort of
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, that I watched, and then after that, I had to watch Bradley Cooper's Maestro because I couldn't enter the screening you guys
Went
got a
to-
ticket for,
Yeah.
which is
Stolen.
Stolen.
by
Huh?
By
Oh, Karan Tejpal.
Karan Tejpal. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, so Maestro was better than I expected it to be. I had very low expectations, not because just because it had a sort of Hollywood prestige feel to it, and that is the precisely the title I try and avoid at a festival, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that will get traction in any case.
Says the
Hmm.
person who was yesterday praising Mank.
But man,
Yeah.
it's not
But man,
prestige.
It is prestigious Hollywood. What is it?
Really?
It is,
Maestro is much more that way.
Maestro is very much
Mank-
going
Mank is
for-
much more experimental in that zone.
Mank has a communist edge to it. I think that itself makes it not
Oh, okay.
not Hollywood.
friendly.
Yes. So yes, because he was a
Okay.
he was the
A
black someone
Mank,
who
yeah.
got blacklisted, I think,
Yeah.
or he was one of
You're
those.
Red Scare.
No, it's before
Before
that.
that.
Before that. Oh, Citizen Kane Jabi released that time. Anyways,
41.
yeah. So this, Maestro I like more than I expected, simply because I think the directorial choices were interesting, and I feel the films which I had seen before in the festival, which is the not very good Evil Does Not Exist and Green Border, I didn't. Well, the first one did have directorial touches, but in this one, I thought he really pushed into, like, formal experimentation a little bit, visual experimentation, and almost vignetting a biopic, not in a let me tell you this, let me tell you this, let me tell you this, but it's almost, it at least to me felt like, and I want to rewatch it just to check if it is that. It's it felt like he's going through different classic Hollywood genres in each of the
Okay.
vignettes, and it felt like, he's passing through all of them and punctuating each of them with, like,
Purposefully, huh?
yeah, it seemed like it, and I was like, I think it kind of gels in the way I'm thinking, but I would like to recheck it whenever I get to watch it again. So I found those elements interesting.
Yeah.
As for, like, the performances, I feel that's more mixed for me because of prosthetics and just slightly over cranked performances. Carrie Mulligan is pretty good. I thought until the last stretch where I thought she's a little egging it, but I think the film kind of is doing
Playing on
that, so
that
it's
frequency.
not really. And Matthew Libatic's cinematography is great.
Okay.
And
Isn't
the
a part of it also in black and white?
yeah, I don't really get what that adds, except for, of course, it was the older time. But, like, yeah, I mean, it
And
does look good
also,
consistently.
A very curious question
Hmm.
that I have. So back when A Star Is Born came out in 2018, right? So I loved it, but at the same time, I was quite baffled by seeing a lot of unanimous praise coming from Hollywood and coming from America, that a lot of critics were going as far as saying that Cooper has established himself as one of the most promising voices
He is
in
a
the
promising
industry.
voice.
But do you think this film
I think
says
it's-
that it wasn't probably a
Yeah. I mean, I remember the only thing I remember from A Star Is Born, honestly, is that one, The Shallow.
Yeah,
sequence,
Shadow. Oh,
which I
my
think is
God, yeah.
which is the thing which actually got him the gig for this,
Yeah,
apparently, because
yeah.
Spielberg saw it and was like,
Yeah.
"You take this Bernstein
Biopic.
biopic," and
He's the executive producer on this.
we got 3 cheers or 4 cheers, to be very honest, because
Hmm.
Bradley Cooper was producing,
Uh-huh.
Steven Spielberg was producing,
Uh-huh.
Martin Scorsese was producing.
Oh,
Because
right.
Martin Scorsese was
Right,
attached
right,
at
Yes,
some point to direct
yes.
as well. Yeah.
So all
Right.
3 times that those names appeared, all of
Hmm.
the crowd went ballistic.
They appeared separately.
Yeah, produced
No,
by
executive
Executive
producer.
producer.
no, it's not executive. Produced by
Oh, they're
Martin
producers.
Scorsese.
Oh,
Produced by Steven Spielberg. Produced by
nice.
Steven Spielberg has, by the way, Steven Spielberg has produced a lot of Transformers movies.
Yeah,
He's-
he produces,
He produces a lot
Yeah,
in general.
So just
He
like,
also
I
directs
mean,
a lot. Directed a lot.
yeah, no, but I'm saying he also produced those.
Yeah.
So let's chill on that a little bit, I guess. Anyways, Maestro was good.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to rewatching it. But yeah, Stolen was the thing that stole the show, I suppose, from what
stole the
stuff you've
festival
seen
up until
up
this point.
until now.
Yeah, my favorite until now.
Yeah.
It was
But
very
you don't have that much
fantastic. I mean, the moment the opening credits came,
Yeah.
I was like, the moment the prologue appeared on the screen, I
The
was like,
debut, right?
yeah, debut feature.
Prologue.
It's not the prologue. I forgot what it's
It's,
called.
it's like a quote before the film starts.
Disclaimer
like
thing, yeah,
Not a
quote.
disclaimer also. It's like you kind of try to set up basically
The
what-
context of your film.
Note,
Ah,
like a
basically.
note.
Yeah,
kind of like that.
I'm forgetting what it's called as a technically, but whatever.
Mhm.
So the moment the text appears at the beginning of the film
Mm.
and the soundscape of it, soundscape of the film,
Hmm.
I was like, this is going to be my thing because
Hmm.
as Sanjeet would know, I was not that gaga on watching this,
Ah,
and at the cost of Maestro. I really wanted to watch Maestro on the big screen because
yeah.
I loved A Star Is Born and I love Bradley Cooper in general.
Hmm.
So I was like a bit conflicted about ditching Maestro and going for Stolen. But I was like, nee, let's support. It's a Marwadi Hindi film and it's a directorial feature. So I might as well watch this. And I was fucking blown away. I mean, it's a proper genre film with a lot of indie elements and indie touches. And I think it just functions seamlessly in all the aspects of filmmaking and as well as in terms of the production value of it. Because Sanjeet would obviously know better about this and he would do a much better job at articulating this because he told me about how this would tell them whatever you told me after we. So right after the movie ended, Sanjeet told me that this guy knows that genre filmmaking is the only way out for
True,
indie.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, so what I was trying
Yeah.
to tell him was like at this moment, you
Yeah.
cannot just make like an
Of
indie
course.
film and expect it
Yeah.
to succeed.
Like your
In India.
your Vikramaditya.
Like
uh,
Ibale.
Yeah. What I was trying to say was, and what my observation and what I've learned till now at this point is, genre films are working.
Yeah.
So you need to make your kind of stories how you were making before.
Yeah.
Just amp it up and make it into a genre film.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think when you do that, you
Mm.
kind of get an audience for sure. And this film
Mhm.
automatically gets you on board because it's a chase film technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't know much about it.
Sure.
Even he didn't know much
I
about
knew
it.
nothing about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just knew
I didn't
it
even
was
know who starred in it. I was like, oh, this has a.
he was surprised that Abhishek Banerjee is in it.
Yeah.
I got to know about this film from a friend who watched it at Venice and he praised it.
Okay.
And so I just had a bit of expectation of just knowing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
getting to know some
Yeah.
feedback from a friend.
Mm.
But I really enjoyed it.
Mm.
It's a very fun, engaging because there are things that happen in this that really took me by surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, they are not surprising by like
By
any
being
standards,
shocked, yeah.
but they were just in the film itself. When you're with the characters after a point,
Yeah.
you kind of become part of their
Amazing.
Reality
And it
and
takes
everything.
place
That's the best
over
part.
the course of one night, which means it has
Yeah.
that urgency to it,
Mhm.
and it's constantly moving.
We should share this
And-
to
Yeah.
the directors.
who
Yeah.
The director.
Karan Tejpal.
Yes,
Yeah.
we should share this to him.
Yeah. Of course.
And the thing is that I was having my geeky moment because I just realized while I was sitting that Sudeep Sharma is sitting right next to me, and I was like, oh my god, should I go talk to him
My
after the
seat.
screening?
I told him just go get a picture with
No,
him.
no, no. I was like, let it. And then there was a Q&A, but Sanjeet and I had to leave because we had to leave for
Food.
food and then
Kennedy.
Kennedy. Yeah, so
Rajiv Masan was behind
Have
us.
to leave for
We had to,
Kennedy, but
but-
okay.
इनको भूख
I
लगी थी
wanted to
ना।
leave.
हाँ, भूख भूख is the main thing.
Yeah,
मुझे भी भूख है, अच्छी पिक्चर होगी.
हाँ वो
अरे।
आपको लगती नहीं है इतनी भूख हो गई आपको satisfaction ही नहीं होता है।
No, I think
Maybe.
Stolen is a very good film.
Yeah,
Very, very good film.
yeah.
I think
Is it releasing anytime soon? You have.
I think it would easily get a good
it
distributor.
would, it should. I think so, but
Okay.
I don't think so. It's gonna happen for the next few months.
But in the
Yeah, not-
halls or like in
no,
the
I would
no,
prefer watching it in cinema again. I can do
because the
that.
soundscape alone, oh my god,
Yeah,
like
it's very like what
at
he's
one
saying, yeah.
point something happens in the movie without spoiling where I could legit feel Sanjeet go this way on his seat and it was so evident and we might have disturbed Rajiv Masan who was sitting right behind.
It's okay. So he was kicking from me.
I was like, that's so fucking annoying.
No, he did kick actually, and I looked behind also. I
And he
like,
was
oh.
sitting behind me. तो तेरे को कैसे
No,
kick
no.
किया?
I think his legs were a little spread apart.
Ah, wow.
दोनों को kick.
दोनों को एक
I
इसको
saw
तो
him
तो
sitting-
critic है साला.
I saw him sitting a certain way. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
No, वो critic को kick तो राजा से would have.
Ah, right.
Oh, yeah.
This
Your favorite.
But technically now he's a producer.
This
na?
joke, for this joke, please refer to our earlier episode
Chup.
of Chup.
1 star or 5 star?
1 star.
Question mark.
Greatest title ever.
It's neither. It's just no. Actually, it's closer to one. Sorry.
Closer to 1, it's 0.25. Yeah.
Yeah, good film.
Yes.
I would. I
I'll
can
go-
recommend.
I mean,
I think you like that movie. That's why I'm.
gonna try and go for it on 31st. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of closer to 1 star and 5 star, Drew's rating for Kennedy is pretty much right in the middle. So
Like always,
yeah.
because I'm a mediocre writer,
oh come on!
or
Don't.
I get it.
or a middle
Yeah.
whatever thing. No, but okay. If the kind, the kind way of saying that nuanced.
Ah,
Of
very
what?
nuanced.
Nuance in what sense?
Nuanced take.
Nuanced takes
Yeah.
like 2.5, 3, 3.5 that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the main bulk of movies,
Okay.
what there are.
3.5 is not nuance. I mean, it's
No, I think the rating scale is different for different
different.
people.
And that's why I
I think
don't
some
like
people
it.
say 5 stars.
Yeah.
Some people say 3.5 दे दिया तो अच्छी कहाँ है?
Yeah.
मतलब मेरे लिए तो वही अच्छी है.
हाँ.
Yeah, definitely.
3.5, 4, 4.5, 5 तो बहुत ही ज्यादा अच्छी होनी चाहिए ना.
Life में
नहीं बहुत को मिला हुआ है ऐसे नहीं. Don't Mulholland Drive.
For me,
है.
fives are
Yeah.
the kind of
Mulan
movies
है.
that I personally feel are perfect.
Of course.
Irrespective if I like it or not,
Okay.
honestly.
So 2000.
I'm just curious. What's
2001 actually like.
हाँ, I know. But you can't see which you haven't liked, but you.
No, it's not like I don't like. Connect also is a more liberal. I would say Annie Hall is perfect in every sense, irrespective if I like it or not like it.
Got it.
Yeah, it is.
And
Yeah.
I felt the same for Meyerowitz stories also.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think it's perfectly.
It's
good.
perfect.
really
It's
liked
perfect.
it.
Huh?
Thomas
I
Lee
love that
Blanc.
movie. But I think and what my idea is, if I'm giving something 4.5, 5, I want to make something like that.
Got it.
I get inspired by that.
Yeah.
I think I'm more subjective with all this. I feel I'm more like
You
this-
should be because that's your voice, no?
I think if you're starring something, rating something like this, you are
Any
anyways.
most subjective as in like
Yeah.
I don't think Banshees of Inisherin is a perfect film.
Ah.
I think there
I
are
think
of course.
niggles where I can which I think can be easily ironed out. And I think but the emotional impact of that movie is such for me that I can't
You can, like,
I can't
transcend
not
that.
yes.
For that way, Irishman for me was a 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought it
Same.
was.
And उसका जो amalgam होता है जो हम दोनों का last year था वो decision to
Decision.
which is fine.
Ah,
Yeah.
that is everything. It's a perfect film. I love it.
Yeah.
What not?
Yes.
For that, it's everything. But yeah,
Yes.
let's talk
Kennedy guys.
What do you think?
मेरे को क्यों देख रहे हो?
What do you think?
So again, Kennedy, the main
We're going
reason-
non-spoilers, yeah?
They are
Non-spoilers,
non-spoilers.
yeah.
The main reason why I was so desperate on watching it at NMACC on its Asian premiere, whatever premiere. Not Asian premiere, I think Indian premiere.
Asian premiere only, I think.
I think it has already
Varna
played
Indian
somewhere.
Raja
I'm pretty sure.
Indian.
Busan it played, no? So
Busan had played, yeah.
Asian ho gaya na fir.
Okay, Indian.
So yeah, so the main reason why I was desperate to visit this premiere is that I knew that watching a Kashyap film with a certain crowd, like a premiere crowd, would be another kind of an experience.
Have you ever
Because-
had full houses where you've gone for a Kashyap film though?
I've had empty
Full
theaters
empty hall,
always,
full
yeah,
empty.
fully empty houses.
You
Fully empty.
never know.
Dobara was
Oh.
like 10%. Okay.
Bombay Velvet was around 70% when I went.
Velvet,
Okay.
I was 3 people, which was me, my mom, and my dad.
Hmm.
And this was on Monday, like Sunday maybe.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the week it had released.
I went on a first day for the show, Friday.
Okay.
And I think it was around 60 to 70%.
That
Easy.
also they gave me so much galis for taking them.
Yeah,
My
it's okay.
parents. I mean, I also didn't like it, but
Yeah. I really love this.
That's
one.
separate thing. But yeah, Kennedy. Okay.
yes. Kennedy, yes. आप बोलो sir. आप तो expert.
I think you're asking the wrong person. Talk about the film.
Okay, I've always, but the thing is, see, I've been a fan of Anurag Kashyap. I'm not a die-hard fan. वो मैं बहुत कम, मेरा अभी कौन माले पर्स और कौन but yeah, like I very much look forward to whatever he's making, right? Like I'd definitely go. I don't know if I would have gone for this
Yeah.
if you guys
If I
weren't
was
going
for
for
this.
this in a festival, because I was like, it's too big almost. Like I know that I might have gone.
Okay, I get your point.
But I
Yeah.
might have gone just because I know that this might actually not get released very soon.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not the type of film I'd seek on in a festival.
Yeah.
I try and prioritize whatever world cinema ka stuff, because that too will definitely not come in India, right? Or wherever in Dubai, so rarely
Definitely.
only. Anyways, Kennedy, I didn't have expectations honestly because I was
Mhm.
like, I've actually not even disliked his recent features.
Yeah.
Like Choked, Choked is probably my least favorite.
Mhm.
Then Almost Pyar with DJ Mohammed, I think Aryan is
Yeah.
the highest on, and then
Uh-huh.
I'm decent on because I think I love one performance in it too much.
Yeah.
And I actually think he does all the Love Aajkal nonsense better than
Yeah.
Imtiaz
Imtiaz,
for me.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's lecturing, no.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Uh,
so I think, but I had sort of read brief snippets of reviews when
Yeah.
Cannes ka reception had come,
hmm.
and I was like, oh
Yeah.
no.
You and I
I was
went
like,
there.
just like, and also, I wouldn't say that Sunny Leone's casting that made that much of difference. That's sort of an exciting casting, right?
Yeah.
It's like just in terms of
Curious
what will you do with this actress and
Yeah.
a different sort of
Mm.
mold you can mold her in whatever way you want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I went in with low expectations. I thought it was
Hmm.
decent.
Hmm.
I think I enjoyed it more because of the crowd. Because you
Definitely.
guys were
course.
there.
Yeah.
But I was also laughing less than a lot of the other people were laughing, which I
Yeah.
do in general, which is fine. Okay,
Yeah.
grumpy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, but I also think so. The main thought I think which we briefly discussed in the car on the way back
Yeah.
was I wonder if this need for people or this want for people for Anurag Kashyap to make a quote unquote Anurag Kashyap film,
Hmm.
which he hasn't with Dobara
Hmm.
and
Almost Pyar
Almost
also.
Pyar.
Hmm.
I think that still has little bit more. Dobara
Yeah.
is the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
वो
Like
तो
it's
है,
literally an
it's almost
adaptation.
not even his
Hmm.
movie, you can
Yeah.
say.
It's his Color of Money.
Yeah.
Acha, okay. I've not
Hmm.
seen Color of Money.
Hmm.
So anyways, that so in this, if
Hmm.
people want that, they will get that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Question
Hmm.
is that a good thing?
Does it work?
No, is that even a good thing?
Okay.
What is auteur cinema, right? That's the bigger question.
See,
Yeah.
I think I'll still go back to the same defense I had
Hmm.
previously for
Leo.
Almost Pyar also. No, not just that.
Okay.
But also can sort of apply to Leo also.
Yeah.
I feel when Kashyap is coming,
Yeah.
he's coming with a bag load of expectations, which he's been trying to wear it off
Yeah.
for ages now.
Yeah, with Marzia and
Even
your
with
Mukkabaz.
Mukkabaz, yeah.
Hmm.
Everything that he's done.
That was his quote unquote commercial switch, right? I mean, Bombay Velvet was, but like that.
But
was-
that
That
didn't
part,
work
yeah.
out that way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For whatever reasons.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think, first of all, we should not just, I'm not talking about us, but in general, the audiences really need to throw away the bag of expectations
course.
for him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you'll always be disappointed. Which is what also happened with Leo, which we
Hmm.
discussed in the episode with Amartya as
But
well.
Yeah.
कैसे करेगा कोई वो?
नहीं यार वो होता ही because you have a certain expectation with that filmmaker. मुझे यही चाहिए.
वो गलत है ना?
That is what my problem is.
But that is the problem of auteur cinema. Because the way auteur cinema.
He doesn't want to be an auteur, no?
Yeah, but
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
saying about him, but like
Huh.
this general idea of auteur cinema has become, and I was reading about this in some article, which I probably should link here, is it's not about the repetition of what you're doing. It's
Okay.
often also about the differences that your films are making. Like
Hmm.
auteur cinema is
But what differences? What do you mean by differences, though?
minor differences, right? Like I
Like
think
in
I
filmmaking or
no, like you
outside
take
off screen?
Irishman from Scorsese.
Okay.
Compare it to his other films.
Okay. You're saying like
How
it's a
it's
good
in
companion
conversation,
piece.
How
good
it
fillers.
sits in conversation with their own or
What is different also, right?
Okay.
He's not making the same
like
film.
the same evolution of a
Then it's
filmmaker that
also
you
the
often
matter of
expect.
stories you have.
Huh,
And
it
the
is-
freedom, creative freedom, I guess.
Yeah, also that, but I genuinely feel the kind of stories he wants to make at this point are drastically different from what he was making
started.
before.
Yeah.
So the themes have slightly changed, and the way he's telling those themes have also changed.
I think for the worse in Kennedy compared to some of the other things.
So I think he's trying to put himself in a different zone.
Yeah.
And I think I commend him for that.
Yeah, same.
Because at least he's trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I personally enjoyed Kennedy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to speak, but yeah, I really enjoyed Kennedy because I think he's doing a lot of things right in the film.
Yeah.
That again, my opinion of what I think is right.
Yeah.
How he's
As in
playing with the characters, of how
technically or narratively as well.
narratively as well.
Okay.
Technically, of course, this film
Yes,
is
very
technically
good.
one of his
Hmm.
best, I
Oh
guess.
my God,
Mhm.
yeah.
Better than probably his last 4 films also, which
Yeah.
was supposedly better than his.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think
Hmm.
the team that he puts together, the kind of people who are on the same wavelength as him,
Fantastic.
I think he's doing really well
Yeah.
as films. I think now if you look at this film and if you go and watch Kulal, you'll be surprised.
The roughness
Because-
probably is not then, but this is very slick, no?
This is very
But
slick.
the genre is.
But I think it's
it
because
works with the genre also.
Yeah.
this is another question, which
Yeah.
like the whole genre itself is a big question.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right? I mean, there are sub-genre questions, not genre. Genre is noir.
Yeah.
Your pulpy, whatever.
Yeah.
Noir and even like whatever he said, 80s cinema, 70s cinema. he
Yeah,
cited, right, I
massively.
think. So I think that's there. But the other sort of bigger, I mean, the question first, I'll reiterate whatever I was saying was also, is he just doing a sort of reheating or reeling, if that's the word to go by,
Of his own.
of his own work because
Hmm.
of set expectations? Because
I don't think so.
okay, because I felt some of the things when happened and when people maybe again this speaks to my I guess sadism
Hmm.
or whatever, not wanting to be
Pessimism.
not wanting to just. I think it's too easy. Some of the things that people laugh at, like I don't know how to explain it without sounding
No,
very
no.
weird.
I get your point.
Yeah.
I get your point. What you're trying to say is you're saying he's purposely going for
It's
those
not-
laughs.
It's almost like an in-game,
No,
right?
but it's also about that filmmaker's ability. Like I think
To
he's
engage.
comfortable doing that.
There are scenes in this which I think that happens, and there are scenes in this which I think it doesn't.
Hmm.
In
So I
Kennedy.
think that's hit or a miss here because you write something, you're writing certain in a certain way, right? So see, I'll always look from like making perspective.
course.
So what I'm trying to say is possibly when he wrote it, maybe they were working more. It could maybe the test screenings worked for the people that he showed
Yeah.
it to.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, it did
And
work for a
maybe-
lot of people in our
I really enjoyed some of the
Yeah.
moments because I felt that those black comedy moments were harking back to the earlier.
Fantastic.
Dark humor
Earlier-
is the best part
But
of the
see,
film for me.
But
Yeah.
Then again, it's the same thing that I mentioned when we were coming back after the screening, that Kashyap is so committed over here to the dark comedy noir aspect
yeah.
of his filmmaking that he commits himself too hard to it, especially in the first half, which it has a brilliant setup, by the way. And you're instantly into the movie, not just because of the visuals, but also because of the soundscape. Because in a noir film, how you design your sound, how you set up your soundscape of your film, it's as integral as the
Absolutely.
visuals,
Yeah.
right? And it's not just about the neon city lights and those dark empty
So
streets.
grimy, no? That
Yeah,
way.
it's not just that seeks you, takes you into the movie. It's also the sound design.
Mhm.
So I think that is extraordinary. And even when the dark comedic bits land, they land extremely
No, I thought some of them were
But
like
then-
proper masala moments.
but
also,
then
like
because-
But I think the audience was
no,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
compliment only.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, in general, also I think the audience responded because I don't think so. You would have seen this big an
No,
audience.
of course.
Here I've
Anywhere
watched so
else.
many of his films.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I forgot to tell. Gangs of Wasseypur 2, I went for 100% audience.
Yeah,
Oh.
मैं वही बोलने
Yeah.
वाला था कि that was like
Gangs of
about-
Wasseypur 2, when I went for it in cinema,
Yeah.
it was 100% audience because it was also Eid. I think it was
Okay.
the same day as Ekta Tiger. I went
Yeah.
for. It had come out 1 week, and Ekta
Not
Tiger was
Ekta
full.
Tiger, no.
Ekta Tiger. Yeah.
Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
No, Ekta Tiger.
Okay.
Yeah. Gangs of Wasseypur 2 is 2012,
Yeah.
8th of August, and
But
15th
It was
August.
13, right?
15th August.
Oh, right.
It had an Eid plus Independence Day
Yeah.
weekend,
Long
whatever.
weekend kind of.
So I went for on the 15th.
Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong also about it now. But it was like Ekta Tiger was full, and also Gangs of Wasseypur 2 was full.
Oh, great.
So
Mm.
the reception of audience there was also fantastic.
Mhm.
The nicest. Bombay Velvet was a little off because I think people weren't really getting the vibe of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember there was this couple sitting next to me,
Hmm.
and the film begins with this shot of like an aerial shot of the city,
Mm.
where there are these trams moving,
Mhm.
Mm.
and this guy next to me tells his girlfriend, "Oh, they're telling it's Bombay, but it's actually Kolkata." And I literally facepalmed myself. I was like, "What is he even talking about?" So that happened. I mean, I guess the audience is also different
Of
because I was
course,
in a
of course.
different city also.
Yeah. No. To be very honest, this is ye homecoming hai, essentially.
Yeah.
The
It
crowd we
feels
were
like-
with was
I feel so when I went for Mukkabaz also, the crowd wasn't there. It was just me and the 15 of us sitting in one row together.
Yeah.
And all of us enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was an empty theater, 15 of us at 10 o'clock in the night,
Hmm.
in the night, and we all enjoyed it. There were moments with Vineet Kumar Singh where his timing is just spot on, and you're resonating with that character because that guy is struggling.
But I think that this film would do really well box office number wise.
I
Once it
doubt.
gets
I doubt.
it will because it is very flashy and it has a very long, it's had a very long extensive festival run.
Yaar,
because of
iska
which-
you have to understand,
Yeah.
Kashyap ka audience is still cinephiles. Families don't go.
And this
Families,
is probably one of his most violent,
violent.
and
demonstrably
I
violent.
think he's going
Less
to
violent than Raman
re-edit the film.
Like, Raman Raghav
Definitely.
actually has the least amount
I
of
think so
violence,
too,
like
I think.
blood.
It's off
Off screen. Almost
all of it.
everything is
Just
off
because it's
screen.
so psychologically disturbing that
Yeah.
The one scene,
Sound
the,
is
the,
Yeah.
see, the sister scene in that
Yeah,
film is
that-
still
and the scene where he kills the maid
the
in
maid
one
in
of the
the slums.
slums.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
That
Uh,
movie was fantastic.
so I feel what was I going to say? I forgot. I think he's going to re-edit the film for
I think so too.
For audiences.
Because I
Yeah.
couldn't
Mm.
feel again. I
And
could never pinpoint the interval high.
I was just going to say that.
Oh yeah.
Interval kya tha isme?
Yeah,
Did you guys think something was
because
an
when you
interval?
watch most Bollywood films,
Mm.
even if they're like these prestigious festival runs, you always see like Joram. When I watched, there was a very evident
Flow.
high and वो क्या कहते हैं, crest
High
and
crest and trough.
top.
Yeah.
Where it seemed like
Gehraiyaan.
the movie. The movie peaked at certain point and you could see the wo wala, half wala, whatever.
Midway.
But this film felt like so, and again, that what brings me to the structure of Kennedy.
Stolen also had a midway, I think, at a midpoint.
Yeah, stolen
After
both
45
evident.
minutes.
Evident. tha,
Yeah, yeah.
both.
But yeah, go ahead.
So
Sorry.
this
Yeah.
genre film mein to I think it's
Genre film
more
hai na, yeah.
suited to also.
And
Isme
because
hoga
I-
but yaar, I'm
Hoga,
pretty
hoga.
sure.
I really don't, because for me this film flowed except
The last
the last
the
act.
last 30. So my biggest personal problem with Kennedy is that
Let's not talk spoilers. Huh? We'll
Yeah,
talk
no
more in
spoilers.
detail later.
So it bookends the movie, supposedly, at least that's what I thought, with a poetic sequence, let's just say
Yes.
that.
Hmm.
With a song sequence, okay.
Mm.
And once it reappeared, once we got that again in the movie, I thought that this is the point where the movie is finally inching into its last act.
Mm.
And then I checked my watch and I was like, wait, there's 40 minutes more of this
Yeah.
left. And I was like, how is this movie going to conclude? And as Sanjeet also pointed out, I genuinely feel that the last act of Kennedy is way too overwritten and it never feels confident in itself of where to end.
Yeah.
Even the last, I think they should at least re-edit this, because even in the ending, I'm
The-
talking
you
about
mean
the
before
last,
the yes.
Yeah.
Before the
Yes.
climax.
Yeah.
Before the climax.
even the last 10-15 minutes, I felt terribly paced, to
Okay.
be honest.
I think
I
that was,
like
that was
the-
resultant
No.
of
Yeah, yeah. No,
some
no,
stuff that
I
it
like
succeeded.
the
Succeeded.
No,
I
no,
like
but
the
I think-
phone stuff.
Huh? The phone,
Hmm.
the phone stuff works, but again, I don't feel that it leads to that point very organically and very swiftly.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the whole. But I mean, this is my also
Hmm.
like I don't need backstory.
Exactly.
Let's
Exactly.
not indulge further,
No,
because
no.
I feel
Yes.
people would
No,
want
but
to-
okay, I'll
Yeah.
circumvent that. We can
Hmm.
maybe cut that.
Yeah.
Is that two sub-genres of
Exactly.
noir?
Huh.
B
Hmm.
noir,
Yeah.
B movie noir, and I think just classic
Classic noir.
your Paul Schrader,
Yeah.
grizzly,
Yeah.
battered noir. Like I got some
Hmm.
with the voice. What is he
Yeah.
doing with his voice in this?
He just made it more baritone.
Bass-
Added more bass to
bass
it.
I thought he was doing Batman.
Yeah, Bane like ekdam
Yes.
Batman hai.
Possible,
think
right? Okay.
It sounded like Vikram में जो उसका आवाज होता है ना, कमल हसन का वो वाला,
हाँ, तो they added-
last वाला.
I-
Baron-
right,
Yeah,
right,
same.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't. I don't know. I was a little whatever. I was like, what is he?
I mean,
doing?
Shah Rukh Khan also added baritone in both Jawan and Pathaan.
हाँ,
अच्छी
that-
लगी
oh,
वो
no.
मुझे.
I'm just saying,
हाँ.
this is the year of adding
This is-
baritone.
This is much better.
हाँ.
Arey, yaar, it's not- do
Differences.
comparison only, yaar.
Anyways, what I was saying was that
Huh.
the B noir
Yeah.
is I think where the film is excelling at,
Hmm.
and I kind of wanted that as the through line.
As the B noir.
Yes,
Okay.
Hmm.
because the serious noir is the emotional punch which I think is lacking for significant portions of the film.
It lacking I feel in terms of massively in writing.
I think
Yeah.
performance also.
I think performance
Because
So-
we don't if it's not written well, how will you get that kind of
No,
performance?
no,
You
no. I think
get like
the
the
performance.
weariness. You can feel. Again, I'll make the comparison of You Were Never Really Here,
Yeah.
which is also similarly. If you
I agree.
strip it out,
Yeah.
he feels tired.
Yeah.
In this, it seems like he's sleepy. That's the difference.
Massive taxi
Because
driver
he
vibes,
is
no?
sleepy, but
is.
he is sleepy.
He is
He's
sleepy.
tired. He is.
Yeah, but he's sleepy as in Rahul Bhatt is sleepy, not
Arre,
Kennedy is
The
sleepy.
character.
Yeah, like
Acha.
there is a lack of affect is not a problem. He looks a little just like I don't really care
I'll
anything.
tell you.
like
I'll
that
tell
way.
you why it worked for me.
Okay.
Is that in the end, and even as you watch the movie, it slowly revealed what kind of a background Kennedy is coming from and what kind of socio-political atmosphere he was conditioned in. Okay. And now it's come to a point where it's pretty much in the trailers, and Kashyap has said this, so I'll just say this. He's pretty much become a ghost. Okay. And I think that kind of a performance, I think he's also trying to pull off very typical noir, Ryan Gosling drive kind of a stoicism in the performance.
Yeah.
So I think
the framing is also very similar.
to drive,
होएगा
yeah,
ना, drive का
definitely.
पक्का.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of it is very purposeful, even though won't work for a lot of people. I understand that, but it works with this character, with this performance, because it reflects a lot of that pervasive passivity that his character is burdened by.
Yeah,
That's what I feel. That's why he looks tired and he's like, I don't care. And that's what leads to the passivity leads to your favorite scene in the movie, which we won't spoil.
but
Right.
maybe he's a little passive.
That's why I'm saying, because that passivity is being
I
set up.
don't think I still didn't really click with his performance. I clicked more with what was happening. Like I didn't really click with him.
No, not with him, but because it's already been set up that he is this passive, he is this sadistic. That's why he will do this. So it was already set up, right?
No, but I was more shocked by someone else doing it.
That
Bit. Not. Yeah, I know we're talking. In
But
like
I think
circles,
even
but
that, I think that was brilliant. So
Yeah.
the movie
But
again.
that's the whole thing. The asides which he's anyways known for,
Yeah.
right? कि background में जो चल रहा है, that's very
more disturbing.
It's like whatever. It's informing. It's not like a passive. कि
Yeah.
camera रख दिया और कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ एक
हो
ही
रहा
जगह
है.
पे सब हो रहा है. It's like everything is sort of bouncing back and all.
Adding more to the
that stuff I really like.
Yeah.
I don't like the very blatant political commentary in this, which he's resorted to recently.
No. So this is again a very prominent flaw I have, not just with Kennedy, but with 90-95% of contemporary films, Bollywood films, Hindi films from liberal filmmakers.
But
Okay.
sir, वो उसका मैं आपको flip side बताऊंगा. Is that the only way to combat it then?
No, I don't think so. Because in this movie, so okay, there's a reason why I was reminded a lot of an action hero while watching Kennedy.
मैंने देखी नहीं है.
But an action hero,
continue.
an action hero was functioning on a different tonality. It was a satire. But when this movie, without spoiling it, when this movie resorts to those kind of loud satirical moments, it worked, especially with the audience when it did it once and twice. But then, as we watched the movie, Kashyap seemed somehow interested in exploring and building up upon that satirical aspect, which does not, I'm sorry, it does not work with the noir genre, even if it's B noir.
Satire, I mean,
Yeah.
noir can be silly. B noir can be silly, especially.
Yeah.
So silliness, I to actually prefer. I was like,
So
thoda loony.
my
favorite.
Loony bit. Yeah.
Where I was like, it's got a unhinged though is too serious.
Yeah.
I feel it's like
Not cartoonish though, right?
Caricaturish?
It's tipping almost over into that. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
but and that's a compliment, not.
I know.
Yeah.
So I was like, that is the pitch.
That's-
And that's also the pitch of Sunny Leone's performance, by the way.
Yeah.
So she is facilitating that.
That kind of
Channeling a lot of
And
that.
I think a lot of the way people speak, especially with the
Police officers.
yeah, with the way it's bookended by one very
particular.
polite phrase.
Yeah.
So I think that like those elements were like I was like, this is a sillier,
Yeah.
crazier movie.
Yeah.
and not a somber one.
Hmm.
The somber bits, I was like, why are we so self-serious in this
Exactly,
movie?
exactly.
I was like,
exactly.
this movie is supposed to be slightly less, to me, of course,
Yeah.
slightly less burdened by the weight of this portentous voiceover. It's like,
Hmm.
I'm this and that, which had the taxi driver vibe. And I was
Yeah.
like,
It had, I was nicely inspired, but she, even Sunny Leone at some point says, "No, aren't you going to save me?"
yeah,
It's
Ah.
very the same
Iris
thing,
or
no
whatever,
Iris thing, yeah.
or whatever the.
And even he's doing whatever exercising in his room and drinking and
Playing with the gun.
That's Robert De Niro.
yeah, I mean, I to think he's nicely taking taxi driver elements.
Yeah, but Robert De Niro is there.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying he's doing that doesn't mean I'm not
No,
comparing.
but
it.
my problem is Taxi Driver
That
is not
is
silly.
convincing because,
No.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that.
Huh.
So I agree with you.
Huh.
The loony bits were actually more fun.
Hmm.
yeah.
The self-serious bits worked for me largely in parts, but some of the bits didn't because I was like, the way they're providing that information for me just felt a little too overwhelming
Hmm.
in terms of
Plot
Did
is
we need it?
convoluted a little
Yeah,
bit,
it is, it
which
is.
is a noir thing, I
Yeah.
feel so.
वो तो
But उसमें
inherent चीज है
and
उसका.
that, which is fine, and in any case, it resolves itself neatly only. It's not like you are thinking about कि कौन सा plot thread
हाँ,
कहाँ पे जा रहा है.
कुछ नहीं,
It's
कुछ
not
नहीं.
the Big Sleep by Howard Hawks,
Yeah.
where you have no idea what is going on.
No, of course
Yeah.
not. But I still feel
Hmm.
it has its own merit.
No, अरे भाई मैंने पूरी तरह नहीं बुरी लगी
नहीं, I'm
मुझे.
not just talking about
अच्छा,
you, I'm just
okay.
talking in general.
Okay, I thought you
Because
were-
so I didn't read any of the reviews before
I also
going,
didn't read,
But
but
you
or,
saw
or even
how the
or
rest
even
was.
or even check.
Okay.
I was just off.
you had heard
Letterboxd.
someone saying it was underwhelming.
So so there's a very good friend of mine. He
Hmm.
did what he watched Kennedy,
Hmm.
and he told me he was a little underwhelmed by the film,
Hmm.
but it's still whatever.
Hmm.
You might like it. I
Gosh.
think I really liked it.
I really liked it too.
Also, possibly because I had no expectations after Dobara and Almost
Almost Pyar, yeah.
Almost Pyar I still like, but
Yeah.
Dobara is something that I really didn't enjoy at all.
Yeah.
So
Dobara.
that's
Although the
what-
first 25 minutes of it were very well directed.
That's because you didn't
First,
watch Mirage.
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
But
I'm just
again,
saying. I mean,
think that
we've discussed.
what-
You can check out Almost Pyar episode also. which
Please
is-
do.
And
the movies.
Dobara.
Oh, both really good episodes, which you
Yeah.
should.
The
and talking
Dobara
about-
episode was censored though.
You did? I don't
did.
remember.
Why will I censor it? It was censored.
And
because-
Almost Pyar, the movie was
no.
censored. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking about.
No, it was
Never
censored
mind.
because Aryan almost blamed someone who we can't blame. Which this
Oh.
film blames very overtly.
Nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Funnily.
So
Which
again,
also
for
means
me-
that the release will never happen.
I think
No,
that's,
release will happen.
that's precisely
sure.
why I think there.
जो ये स्टूडियो वाला
Yeah.
बोल रहे थे प्रोड्यूसर बट डेट नहीं बता रहे थे.
Yeah, date नहीं बता रहे.
यार इस महीने
I
कर
think,
देते
I
November
think this movie will go through some like a editing process from Kashyap's side of
25
things.
मिनट तो निकाल सकते हैं
and-
आराम से.
नहीं भाई 25 मिनट जितना तो नहीं.
I तो
I think
सारे
10, 12
flashback निकल सकते हैं.
फ्लैशबैक
10-12 minutes.
से इंटरकट कर दो
15
तो मजेदार.
हाँ वो भी कर.
flashback
हाँ,
scenes.
चाहिए.
It's not intercut also well actually.
Hmm.
The flashbacks are very patchily put together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're coming. Sometimes I was
More
like,
neater, I feel.
neater, definitely. And sometimes I'm like, I know you have to do the convoluted bit of like when you're telling something, flash back to that for a second to show it. I'm like,
Yeah.
leave it ना इतना सब कुछ तो चल ही रहा है already. I'm like, और कितना उसमें जाने की जरूरत है. This kind of leads into a little bit of my Killers of the Flower Moon.
Just the thing.
This whole process.
The thing is that whereas you expected this to be more like a fully committed B grade noir.
I didn't expect it.
I-
I was led by the film to expect it.
Yeah.
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 So for
Which
me,
is the same case with Killers of the
for me, I was vicariously living through the expectations and the feeling I had while watching an action hero, because this film doesn't need to have wo wala tone.
Sir, वो
Okay.
तो but if you're a Kashyap film, you will have that, no?
No. An action hero isn't.
Quote unquote a Kashyap film, which means.
Then what
very
did you
defined.
expect then?
So the thing is that I wasn't when the first. I don't want to spoil this.
Movement.
When the first satirical nag at the establishment comes, I was like, okay, you're setting it up, you're setting these characters up at
But
something.
then it becomes
But
integral,
then,
no?
but then once it brings those news channels or wo sabka thing again and again, na,
Like
I did not like
the
that.
louder,
Yeah.
very loud.
Because I felt that from the get-go, for me, it was a bit somber. it was somewhere a somber film to me because we got that snippet of a flashback, right?
Hmm.
A certain car door, whatever.
हाँ, but
Okay,
yeah,
so because of
certain-
that,
yeah.
I had already set up my expectations like that. Okay, so he's set up this as a very passive character, but something very disturbing happened to his family in his past. And
Hmm.
oh, this. But then, if you're building upon the satirical aspect too much, and again, see this is not just a Kashyap thing. It's a kind of disease,
The
a kind
thanks
of
to-
stupid temptation.
The thanks
No,
to Gam.
it's a kind of stupid
The
disease.
thanks to Gam.
Yeah, the
Hansel
sincere
Mehta,
thanks to.
Anubhav Sinha,
Yeah,
Sudhir Mishra.
Varun bro,
Hey,
Vishal
he also-
Bhardwaj.
his movie was not good, right?
Who's?
Sudhir Mishra?
Oh,
Yeah,
Affa
Affa.
was disappointing.
You-
Amartya likes it.
Student
You
film.
didn't like it, right?
No.
You also watched it?
He was.
I watched it, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
once it came
You
out on
didn't like
Netflix.
We discussed
liked
Stolen was a
Yeah.
better Afwa than
Yeah.
Afwa really was.
I was reminded of way I was reminded of an action hero while watching Kennedy. I was reminded of Affa while watching Stolen. Like Affa felt too,
Not very well made.
like ऐसे बना दिया
Interesting.
mid production में ऐसे backup कर दिया.
Sad,
ऐसा
because
था.
I don't
Like,
like
No,
seeing
it had a very promising premise. Yeah.
No, premise is good, but
Yeah.
it needed more depth writing to know what happens
Not just the
afterward.
writing, the
Yeah,
making
and
seemed
Nawaz was.
Again,
I love Nawazuddin
another
Siddiqui,
frequency.
but he's acting in a very different film, yeah.
yeah.
You made me
Totally
curious.
real. Even
Yeah.
the
No,
opening.
like whenever I would say something like this guy's acting in a very different film, I would mean in a positive way. You know, this
Yeah.
guy's acting so well than the film.
Yeah.
But Nawaz in this film was
Who is
just
somewhere else only.
just
Another bitch.
Little bit, I know this is the most egregious comparison.
Yeah.
A little bit like Sunny Leone in this film.
no. I think Sunny Leone still fits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nawaz
leave it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she fits in one part of it, which
Yeah.
is the beast.
Nawaz liked Kennedy, by the way. Yeah?
Mm.
Nawazuddin liked Kennedy. My friend spoke to
Yeah.
him and he really had praised this film long. I think he
Okay.
showed this film to a bunch of
Usko
his
nahi.
friends.
Yeah, makes sense.
Beautiful.
But he's not.
Vicky
He's
Kaushal,
not. He's not the muscular. Vicky Kaushal here.
ये मैंने
He
दो
can
तीन
do a
बार
very good brooding.
I
role,
think this movie didn't it remind you like a continuation of like a Raman Rago 2.0 in a
हाँ वो
extended
Vicky Kaushal
character.
went
Same world dynamics.
Yeah,
felt
same
like
world
that.
dynamics.
Vicky
Yeah.
Kaushal was the other. He was brought up another time by us when we were talking how he could be Jamshed Khan and Jubilee.
Absolutely.
Right.
Vicky
But they
Kaushal is a
went
very
for
good
a
actor. Yeah.
plastic
He's a very good actor.
mannequin.
Who was also there at the event.
So,
Yeah, I think we should
saw
stop
him
there.
probably.
Yes.
Lots of people who we've seen though
Yes.
were there walking around.
Shriya Pilgaonkar was also there.
Your
You didn't
favorite.
go?
No,
I
he
her.
met her.
I
He
saw
said hi.
Saw her.
He said, I like you. And then he came.
Yes, that's good.
Popping. Oh, really? You saw?
I saw her. Yeah.
Oh, nice. He's like, oh, I saw. मेरे को भी drink दे दे आज.
नहीं नहीं मुझे मत दे भाई.
No, but that's great, yeah. So, what other after Kennedy? I think now we can like finally go and explore these international releases and
I
smaller
still have
films, right?
Joram left, honestly. And I have
Agra.
Agra, Saurabh Handa.
Yes.
But Agra, there won't be a Q&A tomorrow, na. So,
नहीं ना.
क्या पता?
All
नहीं
India
है,
rank
नहीं
का
है.
premiere हो गया मतलब पहले ही दिन था.
हाँ हाँ पहले दिन था वो.
वो how did it go? Has anyone covered it? कोई review नहीं है ना All India rank के तो.
नहीं.
क्या यार सब
इसमें भी तो है. I actually I won't spoil.
क्या? Oh yes. Amazing surprise for
surprise.
everyone. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the film.
Amazing.
I would recommend this film to anyone.
I think
मजे करना जाके critically मत सोचना.
I'm
ऐसी film
glad
को.
I watched this film
No,
with
not
you
just-
guys and
ऐसे
especially
नहीं कि
with this
because
guy.
you're saying something like that. I'm just saying in general. In
Yeah,
a very
I don't think ऐसे कोई आसानी से मजे होंगे. It's a long film. Like it's not
हाँ,
that also.
And
but
it feels
flows,
long
no?
as well. It
It
flows.
is very well structured in that
It's
Oh,
just
5 nights before the
last-
night.
Mhm.
The night.
The last
The
half
night of the
is-
virus.
the night of the vibes.
Yeah, but I don't know. The last 30-40 minutes still I don't think they work for me. But again, the entire film leading up to that point pretty much works very well for me. And I mainly the reason why I'm high on this film is because of the crowd. And it was just very and the Q&A that we had after that.
No,
I mean, it was just great
I
seeing
have
Kashyap.
to not. I won't introspect.
Yeah.
But I will. I was thinking, do I just not don't like people? And you know, yeah.
Because you like watching in sparse audiences now.
I
That's
suppose.
a
I
different
was like,
thing.
no, but I think I didn't like because I was like,
Hmm.
why? I knew why people were laughing
Yeah.
at some stuff.
Yeah.
But no, hear me out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I was like, इतना easy नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yeah.
But itna easy to was there in other screenings also, yaar.
I
The
don't know,
festival
yeah.
audiences are that way.
But the thing is, because of the hype now, you tend to get more giddy. When-
Giddy to
yeah.
हो ही जाते हैं आराम से.
And
Correct.
it's like this setup,
I
the
should-
build-up like was a big stand-up show that everyone
Hmm.
has sat down for to
That's
watch.
true.
ऐसे.
I mean, giddy crowd में grumpy आदमी को उठा के तो क्या होगा?
Anatomy of a fall में. There's
Ah,
an argument
random
scene
चीज़ों.
that happens.
तालियां.
तालियां.
Yeah.
तो centerpiece scene है उसके
हाँ,
बाद तालियां थोड़ी
monologue
ना
के
बजी
वजह
होंगी.
से.
तालियां. उसके बाद
नींद.
random. हाँ,
And
हाँ.
when they start talking about their sex life, people are like chuckling and all, and I'm like,
अरे क्या है मतलब? And I asked him also, यार इतनी funny है क्या?
क्या मतलब यार?
ज़्यादा नहीं हंस रहे हो?
Okay, fair enough.
So I think the audiences are kind
Maestro
of
में तो कोई नहीं
conditioned
हंसा.
this way.
So they निकल गए थे.
Sir, वो I think आपकी energy फैल
और
गई.
evil does not exist में कोई भी नहीं. सिर्फ खराटा मारा.
People were laughing यार, and evil does not
Oh,
exist.
वो वाले उसमें US
क्या?
ये जग गया था.
I remember people were laughing यार.
अरे वो इंटर
हाँ.
अरे कितना हंस रहे थे.
अरे that's cause oh it's like
Interrogation
oh
वाला.
let's fight for the people type.
Some shit, honestly.
No, when they were asking questions, when they were
Ah,
interviewing
okay.
PDF वाला
Yes,
वो.
yes. And yeah, they were also laughing when they were joking about their profession change and all that. Actually,
Yeah, in the
So,
car.
yeah, they were.
The audiences are this way. They switch on this mode before they
Fair
come.
enough. तो मैं ही गलत हूँ.
नहीं नहीं गलत नहीं हो सर. आप सही हो, आप अपनी जगह पे हो.
Dhruv is sitting as a corner में कि हंसने जैसे
तू थोड़ा तू जाएगा और सिनेमा में तेरा ठीक हो
नहीं
जाएगा.
नहीं मैं बस I think people will think that of me when I watch a Lanthimos film.
No. Also, I'll tell you one more thing. Also, I'll tell you one more thing. When you're sitting in a community thing, no,
Yeah.
the emotional
Energy
thing is
flows.
very contagious.
Yeah, the energy flows. It
Yeah.
seeps
तो
off.
यहाँ पे उल्टा क्यों होता है?
But if I would have watched,
Choose let.
if I would have watched alone also this film, I would have laughed at most of the points.
I would
Because
have
I
been
laugh-
like, oh, वो Leo वाला scene at every political nag and every satirical joke. I would have been like,
That Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah,
For people who are listening on audio, they won't
yeah.
see your video.
देख लेना यार.
देख लेना.
ठीक है?
अच्छे lighting में बैठे बहुत.
That's it. Any more things that you need to speak
Yeah.
about?
I'll just sit for the rest of the night with this drink in my hand, writing the review for Kennedy. Fully.
Let's skip the first show tomorrow.
No, I'll watch.
Yeah, just we can do that. I was supposed to be joined by Aryan and for the morning show of Green
Yes.
Border, but they decided to sleep.
Mumbai traffic.
I didn't
यार.
decide. I just didn't wake up.
Yes. कल तो उठना पड़ेगा सर आपको जाना है लाइन में खड़े
I don't have an option
Yeah,
here.
we have to leave early.
No option.
Anyways, but I want to like I'm looking forward to actually my favorite titles or whatever most anticipated stuff is actually starting
Now, yeah.
next tomorrow के बाद
Hmm.
because I have some international titles I am excited about.
Let's definitely go for those.
And yeah, but I still am disappointed about a lot of stuff that's not playing. So.
Yeah, it's okay.
नहीं एक तो यार आएगी नहीं यार कहीं
See.
वही Close Your Eyes करके है विक्टर
Okay.
की
But let's
उसकी
definitely
लास्ट
catch
फिल्म है वो भी
Fallen.
4 फिल्म बनाई है उसने पूरी
I
लाइफ
think let's end this episode before we.
Yeah.
yeah नहीं it's so
Yeah.
sad yeah
Sad तो ठीक है वो तो.
Sad तो ये पूरा मैनेजमेंट ही है मामी का इस बार वो डेथ.
But
अरे
really अच्छी
हमारी we should have said that
हाँ, वो?
गालियां जो मिली थी
किसको?
Oh,
अरे
yes.
मैनेजमेंट को
Oh,
स्टार्टिंग
that's-
Because they won't put out those videos, na.
हाँ.
They'll put out all these red carpet pictures of Kareena Kapoor.
They'll fake it to yaar. Why would they want to portray themselves as bad?
Yeah,
पता ही
but
है ना।
then it backfired clearly today in front
Very
of
badly.
2,000 people.
I mean I did feel bad for
I
the
felt bad
person
for
on
her.
stage
On
Yeah.
stage because she was put in the spot
Yeah,
now.
oh my
but
god.
she is the artistic director.
I don't even know her. Yep. I just knew Smriti Kiran before.
Same,
I
yeah.
don't even know who's the news this
I was just
person.
like and the people
प्रियंका चोपड़ा
very
क्या
much-
कर रही है तो एक मिनट
क्या कर
She's some jury head or something. Yeah.
तो कहाँ है ऐसे मॉनिटर के पीछे
International flavor. Yeah. I don't think she's even interested. वो होटल में बैठ के chill कर रही होगी.
No,
I
she's
don't know.
brand-
भी वही कर रहे हैं
brand
होटल क्या मतलब? I mean, she's घर को करना उसका यार बॉम्बे में यार.
brand ambassador है ना essentially
right
Chalo, okay. This is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe this channel. Much more videos are about to come.
yeah
You can also follow us on Spotify. Please follow us on Spotify. It helps us to reach out to more people. Review us on Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. It really pushes our content forward. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting us. You can follow Aryan on his Instagram page at Aryan Talks Film. You can follow Dhruv on his Instagram page at Terminal Cinema. You can follow me at Pixel_Baba. You can also follow us at queenisdead.film podcast. Instagram.
You think this year we should have debates about the films because we have had such different opinions on some of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, we'll have. I thought
These are debates only.
Okay,
Nah,
this is then the
these are very
episode.
congenial.
Khatam.
Amartya जब आएगा तो फिर
I think Amartya will like Kennedy. I think he will.
हाँ उसको almost प्यार से तो ज्यादा ही अच्छी लगी.
Almost.
चलो.
देखी थी उसने बाद में.
हाँ गलती से.
Oh, भाई.
Khatam.